Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Divination's weekly podcast. Tonight we're going to be talking with Sue Martin. I am so fortunate tonight. I have both my crystal ladies here with me. And the ironic thing we were discussing is they never actually met each other, and they're both in the store quite a bit, and they're both involved with the store quite a bit, but they never actually met each other. So here we are planning a big girls trip in August. So you're fortunate. We've got both the crystal ladies tonight. But before we actually get started with talking with Sue about EFT, just a couple announcements. The Mental Health Peer-to-Peer Support Group is actually meeting now. They meet at 6 to 8 p.m.
6?
Yeah. McLean and Poulain Pharmacy.
Okay, and the Roots for Youth
Roots for
as
Youth.
well.
Yep,
They're always looking for donations of any kind or any sort because they've got 3 homes, I believe, in Victor County. So
and
they rely solely on that. So that's one of our charities.
And their big fundraiser Saturday night is the coldest night of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and of course, as always, like and share. Please keep liking and sharing this so we can get the word out there about the store and the new store coming.
Kay Harris Brown says hi, Carrie.
Oh my gosh, Kay, you figured it all out now, didn't you? You made the podcast the last 2 days, the daily readings, and tonight. It's so nice to finally see you with us. That is exciting. But yeah, as always, please like and share. And we also have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to put this out there. When I get a certain amount of followers, subscribers, and a certain amount of hours invested into the YouTube channel, YouTube will actually pay us.
That's always a bonus.
Yeah, it means I can put it into more stock and, more employees. Oh, and more crystals. We're hiring a new guy. Sue got to meet him today. His name is Ken, and I forgot his last name already.
Oh, okay.
Johnson. Yeah, that's it. Really nice guy, and I think everybody's going to love him. He's got these big, beautiful blue eyes, doesn't he? And he's just a very, very gentle person. Pardon? Down to earth. So I think everybody's really going to enjoy meeting him and welcome him to our little community. Very nice guy. I wish you had a chance to meet him.
Well,
you will.
I will. I'm sure within the next couple of days.
Well, hopefully sooner than you two actually met.
I don't think it's going to take that long. I really don't.
Hopefully not.
Amber Stewart says hi, Mom.
Hey, Amber. How are you?
Hi, Amber.
It's nice to see you watching a podcast. So yeah, if you can just take a moment and subscribe to the YouTube channel and of course share it as always, and the Facebook page if you could just keep liking and sharing them. So there's a big change. Robin is the lady that was going to do the pendulum workshop with me and give out the information, a little bit of the talk and stuff like that. But Robin has family plans and we're going to have to the pendulum workshop for a week or two. It's just she's got other stuff going on.
And we can announce it probably, within the next week or so when we have more.
Exactly. So I'm really sorry for the change in plans, but it is a little family thing for Robin, and I don't want to make her rush or anything like that or miss it. So, and next week, Michelle Greenwell is going to be on the podcast with us, and I think you're more familiar with her than I am.
Michelle has been to Therapeutic Touch, I think, a few times with us and spoken about healing and self-healing and things to do with movement and with the feet, and just very knowledgeable about different types of energy healing. Her and Natasha almost work like hand in hand. When they go over to Tatamagouche, it's Michelle and Natasha, and I forget what the other lady's name is, but there's 3 of them anyway, and they all work like kind of as a team.
They're actually there tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
I got to get a calendar put up. I'm just waiting for a bit more info because the dates kind of fluctuate a bit.
Right. Yes, and that's what Natasha had said last week, was that it wasn't always the same Wednesday. Like you can't say it's the first and third Wednesday because it might not be that way.
Yeah.
But no, that'll be interesting next week to have Michelle.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I really am, and Natasha might be dropping off some bowls tonight.
Some bowls.
So we might have some for the store tomorrow. And as I said on last week's podcast, I do have arrangements with Easy Financial. They are kind of expensive, but they're really good bowls.
Yeah.
Really good quality. They're made with, I think she said, 9 different metals, including pure gold. So that's going to up the price a bit.
Yeah.
So I do have arrangements where Easy Home, can finance it and make it on an affordable weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, whatever plan.
Yeah.
So that is always an option because I don't know if the sound went through as the camera, like the microphone as well as, but in there, the sound was beautiful.
Oh, it was. Absolutely.
I have really,
Absolutely.
really, really sensitive hearing.
Yeah.
And they were like a pleasure to my ears.
Yeah.
Mary J. Henley says hello.
Hey, Mary Jane, how are you? Are you guessing your number for the reading tonight? It's going to be between, we never announced that.
Oh, we didn't announce it. We can do it.
It's going to be between 1 and 50. So whoever's closest without going over will win a free reading at the end of the night. We were just so into our chat that I just kind of forgot about it. And we were talking about the singing bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the was it chimes she had?
Yes.
Yes, the wind chimes.
I don't know if she's bringing any
Yes.
chimes. She just mentioned singing bowls, but the plan is to get them into the store. They are beautiful.
And I'm sure if she's bringing the bowls, then, it wouldn't be a hardship for her to drop off some of the chimes.
Yeah.
If
For
it's
the
not
new
this
location.
week, then soon.
Or for the new location. Definitely for the new location.
Yeah.
So that is shaping up nicely, and he's really been working on it. Ashley he came through McDonald's today, and he was talking to Ashley, saying he was hard at work on it.
Oh, good.
So hopefully, sooner the better. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about moving.
Oh, it is. It'll just give you a whole lot more space.
It will.
More space,
Way better
more room.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the store actually looks like a store.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there'll be no wet dog smell. No offense, I love Miranda Bender's Bites. I love her. But, it's if you get allergies.
Yeah.
Especially
And
with
to
the
anyone
cats.
coming in who has allergies. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have more privacy for readings and stuff like that.
And
just
that's always a
more
bonus.
stock. I was
That's
showing
always- Yeah.
Sue, letting Sue go through the stock that I was ordering. There's some nice surprises coming, isn't there?
Mhm. I got to keep buying some more Tim's.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as you all know, we have Sue Martin here tonight. She's going to be talking to us about EFT.
Mhm.
So now that you've got your certification, I know you were doing clinicals. So do you find you're really getting the word out there?
Somewhat more through you and people I know, like through word of mouth. The people that have done sessions have told other people, and if they've told you what I mean. So not really. I'm not like advertising as a business type thing. It's just word of mouth basically, and you with the podcast.
But it's keeping you busy. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Good.
it is.
And you're the only practitioner right now from here to Montreal?
No, there's somebody in. I just found out about this down in somewhere in the valley. I can't think of her name right now, but I went to a thing in Pictou, and each practitioner did a certain thing, like an introduction type thing. And when I told her to do an EFT, she's like, "Oh, there's this person in the valley." So I looked her up, but I haven't had a chance to talk to her, email, nothing like that. So
Okay.
that's the only one that I know of.
So that's only two then in the Maritime provinces. And
I
then
know
the
when
next
I
one would be
first
up
got
in
into
Montreal.
EFT, I looked for a practitioner closest to you because I wanted to go see one. Because
Yes.
I've been doing EFT, and I couldn't find anyone. Like, maybe I didn't look right. I'm not sure, but I'm like, this is really weird that there's no one close by.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, I didn't find nothing. So
Oh, well.
Well, I know for a fact that you're wonderful
Thanks.
at EFT. I know that for a fact. And I I don't know, I've told the story 100 times, but I'm going to bore everybody and tell it again. I was super stressed with opening the store and all the anxiety that entails. And I wasn't sleeping. And I was just getting so tired and so burnt out from not sleeping. And Sue and I were talking and getting to know each other. And she told me about the EFT. And I was really excited about it and stuff like that. But she was going to work with me on stress, wasn't it?
Mhm.
And anxiety. And then as we were talking, when she came over to do the practice, or not the practice, the session with me, we got talking about the sleeplessness, probably because I was looking super tired that day. And she's like, well, we can do EFT for that. And we did. And I have been put on medicines like antidepressants and the other ones, the calm me down pills.
Yeah.
But I've never actually taken them, right?
Right.
And after she was done, it felt like she gave me Ativan.
Oh, wow.
I was just like,
I'm
so...
not prescribed to give any drugs.
No. It was just your tapping.
Yeah.
And the closest I could come to explaining how I felt afterwards is it felt like I had Ativan. I was just calm. And there's always a lot of activity going on in my head. I'm thinking
busy
like
brain.
40,000
Yeah.
things, right? It was just me. It was just quiet in my brain. And I slept that night. Not a perfect night's sleep,
Yeah.
but I slept that night. and I wasn't so stressed about trying to sleep, because it becomes a whole circle. The more you can't sleep, the more you get anxious because you're not sleeping, and it's just, and then it keeps you awake longer, right? But I slept about 3 or 4 hours that night, and then the next night I slept a little bit longer, and after that I just been sleeping so friggin' deeply since she did the EFT with me, like so deeply.
September.
Yep. And it's just one session, and I've just been like, the bags under my eyes are now, it's because I'm like drugged in my sleep. I've just been sleeping so deeply, I don't hear anything.
Oh, that is great.
And when she first said about doing a session, like I know she was talking about me being at the store and stuff. So when she said, how about we do one? So I'm like, okay. And came over for the anxiety. So I had everything all planned out, like what I was going to do and everything. And when she got there and started to sleep, and I'm like, I threw me off, and I'm like, I'm not playing, like I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah.
And I thought she'd be the most skeptical person. So I'm like, what am I going to do if this doesn't work out? Like, she's going to go to the store and say, well, it's going to do this kind of thing. And when she said, she kept telling me how she was sleeping, I'm like, wow, like it surprised me.
Well, there.
Because I thought, I don't know what I thought, but I was really surprised with her results.
Oh, that is great.
Me too. I've been a light sleeper all my life. Any little sound would wake me up, especially where I have such sensitive hearing.
Yeah.
But I can't believe how deeply I'm sleeping. I have never slept this deeply in my life.
Oh,
you could set a bomb off and I wouldn't wake up.
And if you're not getting your sleep, then everything else is thrown off kilter, big time.
But it's like in the 42 years now that I'm sleeping well at night, it's like overkill. It's gone from one to the other. But I just sleep so deeply now.
But you know what? You need that rest.
Oh, yeah.
And after your body gets leveled off or whatever, I'm sure it'll adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she gave me some papers for the tapping. And we're talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sue gave me papers about the tapping. And I find days that I'm a little bit more anxious
than others.
I'll read those before I go to bed, and I'll even do some of the tapping that Sue and I did.
Yeah.
And I just calm right down.
Oh, you gotta love it.
The tapping's fantastic, and I would promote it to God.
So, well, then let's get started with this. What all can we do with EFT, or what all can you do for us with EFT? It's for stress, obviously.
Stress, anxiety, worry, fears. If you lose a family member, like there's loss,
grieving.
Anger, frustration, resentment, pain. Ashley, I did for her.
Okay.
That was only the 20-minute session.
20-minute session. Yeah.
And she felt like she had pain. You said for what, couple years? She had
years.
lower back pain, and so we sat and did a session. And she's like, within 20 minutes, she's like, I can't believe I feel this good. And then every once in a while, I'll ask her, I'm like, how's your back? Good. And then I'll see her, and I notice she's not feeling that good. Like her back looks like it's bothering her.
Yeah.
I'll send her a little blurb of what to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm like a list like that being saved to my phone.
And then, so I'll say, how you feel now? She's like, oh, better. So,
it's
just a way to rewire your brain, because if you think you're supposed to feel a certain way, like if you go to the doctor, like you're in a car accident, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, okay, well, you're going to have this pain because you're in this accident.
Yeah, and there's nothing we can do about it, basically.
You're going to say, okay, well, the doctor told me.
Yeah.
This is, but
this is how I'm going to feel.
Right, so your brain's going to be programmed to think, I have to feel this pain.
Oh.
But we don't. Not just pain, but same with anxiety. Like, you have to take meds for anxiety, because if not, you're going to feel this, and that. But it obviously
isn't.
It doesn't have to be that.
No.
I'm going to agree with Sue 100%. The power of your mind is amazing.
Oh.
Completely amazing.
Yep. Absolutely.
And retraining our brains. I think for some reason we're just stuck in this horrible, horrible cycle. Do you know what I mean?
We're stuck on,
and we're limiting ourselves.
It's almost like you have to give yourself permission to feel good, or to be able to have a good night's sleep, or you have to give yourself permission to not feel pain, and say I deserve freedom, I deserve peace.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to express. You have to give yourself permission to have good things.
Yeah, to feel good and to have good things.
I know I had one session, and she got really, really sick, and the doctor couldn't figure out what was going on. So, that's nerve-wracking as it is, because there's stuff going on, but the doctors can't say why it's happening, or so they can't say why it's happening, they can't fix it.
Right.
So she was feeling like anxious and stressed and worried and like, what about this and what about that? So I mentioned to her and she's like, yeah, okay. She's like, I don't know if this is going to work, but whatever, I'll try it. So anyway, I went over and we were there for about half hour, 40 minutes. And she's sitting there, she's like, wow, like I can't believe how different I feel. And her boyfriend ended up coming home and he looked at her, he goes, what did she do to you? And I was like, and she explained the process. He's like, I've never seen her look so happy and so calm and relaxed since this whole episode happened at the hospital back in July or August.
Wow.
And she's like, I can't believe how good it feels to say something positive to myself, like to actually affirm it's okay to feel stressed, it's okay, you know, to look forward to something good coming from this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
EFT is pretty powerful. So we're skipping on because we know a bit more about it. Do you think maybe for our people
viewers.
joining us, you could tell them a little bit about the background of EFT?
I don't know a lot of background about it.
No, like how the philosophy of it works, the principle.
I don't know. I don't like.
Okay, well, let me ask a question then. Being a skeptic or whatever, or having a family of a few skeptics, does a person actually have to believe in EFT for it to work?
No.
That's amazing. Because how many people are you
I've
going to
had
find?
people-
Oh, yeah.
I've had people say like before I got my certification, I had to do so many sessions, like practice sessions
Right.
with people, and I've had people say, like, I said, do you want to try a session? Well, this isn't going to work. I'm like, well, okay, then you can be my guinea pig to say I didn't think it was going to work,
But it did.
so anyway,
Exactly.
they did, and after the session, they felt totally different. And I said, I can't, like, I was going into this thinking I'm going to let her do this because she needs for a certification,
Yeah.
but it's not going to change nothing. And at the end of it, they're like, wow, like they want to do more sessions.
Well, there. Yeah.
I thought of a better way to explain it. How did you find out about EFT?
Oh, okay. It's probably about 3-4 years ago. I was on this group on Facebook, and one of my friends sent me a message, like I knew about like Reiki and all the different other types like healing modalities.
Yes.
So she sent me a message and she said, did you ever hear of EFT? And I'm like, no. She's like, you should check it out. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, I looked at a couple videos and stuff. I'm like, well, whatever. And then it was 3 years ago. I got hurt at work. And I was stressed because I just bought a house like 2 weeks before. So I'm like,
wow.
what's going to happen now? So I was really stressed out. They said it was going to be a 4 to 6 week recovery period. It was like 2.5 months, so no improvement. So I'm like, hey, this is getting bad. I'm going to lose my house. Like all this stuff is going on. So I started tapping for stress and anxiety and worry and fear and stuff like that. And I just felt completely calm. Like nothing. It didn't. If I went to physio and they said, you know, you're not getting any better, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't stress me out. Yeah, I was. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? When I'm prone to migraines, and I was supposed to know one day. I'm like, okay, well, for pain and stuff. So I tapped it. Didn't quite get it the first time. So I'm like, okay, I thought so. And then I went through it again, and within like seconds, migraine was gone.
I'm going to stop here. When you say tap, you literally mean tap.
Tap them. It's the same meridian points as they use in acupuncture.
Oh, okay.
But just a different form. Like there's no needles. Like you actually physically use your 2 fingers to tap.
So there's no instruments necessary or whatever.
You can do it in the car. You can do it. Sit on the kitchen table. You can do it wherever you want. Just
that is great.
Yeah.
So are there many, I don't know, pressure points, I guess, where you would be tapping?
There is these. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera. These are the basic tapping points. Can you?
We could just get Ashley to put that up. There's a little pamphlet for people to see. So, Justin, have we get any comments or anything? This is weird. Our conversation's going so easily tonight.
We don't have any comments yet. Everyone's mostly just picking their numbers.
Cool. Don't forget, everybody, ask your questions. This is what we're here for, to give everybody their chance to ask the questions.
Has more tapping points. I've never used the ones on your toes or your fingers.
Oh,
I've
okay.
used the basic ones, but there's like tapping points between your toes.
Probably all over your body. Yeah.
But like I said, I just use the basic ones. I've never had to use the other ones because I just didn't need to.
Yeah.
So the principle behind it is basically retraining your brain to think and accept things in a certain way.
Right. So you bring up I know people say I'm trying not to think negative, but what you do is you bring up the negative. Like even though I can't sleep I'm willing to give my mind a few months of rest. Like you bring up the negative, so you keep bringing it up, but then you cancel it with something, a positive affirmation.
Oh, okay.
You have to bring it to the surface. If you sit there and say, I deserve sleep, I deserve a peace of mind, stuff like that, like it works.
But not as well as
bring up
if you bring up the negative
to
and
the
say,
surface,
I'm
right.
not sleeping.
Right.
I'm having a hard time sleeping. Even though I'm having a hard time sleeping,
Right.
I deserve to have a good night's rest.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And same with like self-image and stuff and self-acceptance. Like a lot of people have a bad image about themselves, or they feel they're not good enough. So you're still like, see, bring up, even though I don't feel good enough to get the job that I want, like you know, so you're saying yourself negative to yourself, but you're canceling it out
With something positive.
Right.
I have a question for you. This is an unexpected one. I didn't give you a chance to prepare. I've been doing a lot of work with opening my chakras, keeping my energy flowing through on grounding, right?
Yes.
But mostly with my chakras, just keeping my energy flowing through, because Sue's been teaching me a lot about balance.
Yeah.
And I've been carrying my green adventurine and my blue sodalite for my heart and my throat chakras, because when I was doing a little chakra exercise, I noticed that they had problems.
Mm-hmm.
So with opening up my chakras, does this fall in line with the chakra work?
You are tapping on the meridians, which is the energy system in your body. Like it's the energy pathways, I should say, through your body. So yeah, they would all connect somehow.
Yeah, maybe we need to tap on something to do with my heart.
Mm.
Get that open up a little bit.
So I have a question, Sue. What about any of the young mothers that are out there? Can they do some tapping on their children?
They can. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be as intense as it is for like someone like you or me, but it can. Yeah. And there's even tapping. Like I had somebody that just became a new mom, and she was nervous and she was anxious and stuff because like you don't know what to expect or whatever. So I said, okay, it's like this. You get 10 minutes. She's like, yeah. So I was house for 10 minutes. We did it, and she just felt relieved. Like she felt like she was going to be okay.
Oh,
I mean, all parents are, but you
Yeah,
still have that
exactly.
anxiousness. Like what happens
Oh, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
You're responsible for a whole new person.
Yeah.
So she felt more relaxed and more confident. So there's tapping
nice.
for like I said, you can YouTube it. Brad Yates is the one I first started following, and he is. I've never not found anything yet onto YouTube for tapping. EFT.
Yeah, EFT. Yeah.
Pretty
Great.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna- Are there any negative side effects from it that you can think of?
No,
Not by the sounds of things anyway. It doesn't seem to be.
One person I did a session with, they came for pain, and before she left, she felt fine. She felt really good, and then a few days later, I said, "How you feeling?" She's like, "Well, it's back again." I'm like, "Well, what's going on? Like, what happened?" She's like, "I don't know." So I gave her some different tapping points on what to say, and she said, "I do it," but then her mind tells her that's not possible, type thing. So then she would feel the pain and stuff. So anyway, we had another session, and she was feeling good, and all of a sudden she said, "I'm angry because I have this pain, so I can't do what I used to do. Like she used to be on the go all the time and stuff with her grandkids or just whatever. So I feel angry." So we tapped on anger, and she said, "A world difference," because you can't be angry and peaceful at the same time. Like so you have to cancel it out.
No.
I would never have thought to do one on anger, like because I was doing pain stuff, right?
Well, exactly.
So when she said, "I feel
Pain
angry,"
doesn't make you feel
But
angry.
isn't it amazing how your emotions can trigger so much in the body?
Definitely. Yeah. I've actually been touching a bit on that on the daily readings, talking about the things to lower your vibration and
fear
and pain, like emotions, negative thinking, stuff like that all lowers your vibrations. And
guilt, shame, fear, and any of that stuff.
When you're dealing with any of that, it brings you down so that you get into a place where you think you don't deserve to be pain-free or anger-free.
Exactly. Yeah.
So our minds are amazingly powerful things.
For sure.
And our society, as I was saying earlier, is stuck in a way of not allowing us to have anything happy or good. Unless we have approval for it.
Right.
Yeah. I guess there's my next question. I know you do these sessions for different clients, but do they have to have a therapist to do this all the time, or are you just going to do one or two sessions and kind of teach them
Well, I can teach them the thing, yep.
to work on this themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is great.
Yep.
Because then, in the privacy of your own home.
James Edward asked, could you do a live demonstration?
I didn't bring any ones with me. It's hard to do, like, when it's not something.
Well, when Sue's doing her EFT, there's papers to fill out, so that way she knows the areas where you want to work on.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's some questionnaires and stuff like that. So that way she is prepared for each individual session. Her sessions are as specific as you are and as specific as the issue you're addressing is.
Okay.
So to have like a universal demonstration is a little bit more difficult. But to give a little bit of a touch of it, like you tap on certain points, right? And I'm trying to remember the words that we use. I can go upstairs right quickly and get them.
If you want, I should have brought one. I was going to. Because I know we did one around when I did the community night.
Oh, okay.
But just because everybody, like, somebody might not feel stressed and somebody might not feel pain, so it's hard to do like one session because everybody's going to feel some or not feel anything at all because it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
So it was hard to do it as a
like
group
you say,
thing.
just hard to do as a group.
Right.
And
These are my favorite jeans, and I just keep splitting the knee bigger and bigger in them all day long. I guess they're going to be my new favorite cutoff shorts this summer. So my papers are pretty worn. I keep it next to my bedside table just in case any nights when I'm anxious.
oh well,
That's how much you're
coming to.
I keep
really,
it to my
yeah.
nightside table for
Really
the
like
nights that
that.
I'm anxious.
Yeah.
That's how much I rely on it.
Wow.
So I guess that's the best recommendation there.
Mm.
We don't have to go through the whole thing. I'm just saying maybe read a line or two so people understand.
What is this now? The affirmations or
This
just
is-
like the
This
tapping?
The
one is
point?
affirmations.
for a calm mind.
Yeah.
So an example would be, I release all concerns, all frustrations, and anything else I'm focused on. I invite my higher mind enter and bring light to every aspect of my life. I withdraw my focus on worry and fear and place my attention solely on peace. Just as you're tapping, like on the eyebrows of the eye.
Okay, so where all are
Here.
you tapping? I noticed
With
Carrie
me,
going to
you
the
tapped on the crown of my head.
crown.
We tapped above my eye,
Okay.
Side of the eye,
side of my eye,
under the eye,
under my eye,
under the nose,
under my nose,
Oh.
chin,
under my chin,
collarbone,
collarbone,
heart,
heart.
Oh, okay.
and inside the knee.
Oh, okay.
But like I
Oh.
said, like those papers show like lots more tap points. They can tap on your toes, on your shins.
Yeah,
Different-
depending
it
on.
just depends, yeah. But I mean, I
depending on
find
the person's
the
need
ones
at
I
the
do
time.
is just efficient enough to get where you want to go,
Yeah.
where you need to be.
We got another question. Mary J. Henley asked, does it cost a lot?
$45 a session. And most sessions lately have been an hour, hour and a half, depending. Like if somebody's not willing to,
Invest a little bit in their health.
no, if they're not willing to talk about what's bothering them.
Yeah.
Like if I have people that just say, okay, well, like, I can't sleep, so we'll go over and I'll say, we'll do this different tapping sessions, and how do you feel? Well, I still feel this. I'm like, well, how, like, what's going on? Like, what do you think about it? What? And then some of them got emotional. I want to realize that it's bringing stuff up. They just shut down, and I can't do nothing more if you're not going to say, well, I feel angry or I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to open up, then I can't do anymore.
You need to be truthful and honest.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
It can be emotional. Sometimes it's just like straightforward, like with Ashley, it was just done. Yeah, okay, I feel good, and that was all. But like I said, some people realize that it does bring stuff up, and they just shut down, and then I can't.
But if it brings stuff up, and if they deal with it or whatever, and release that at the time,
They have to be willing.
Yeah, they
to
have to
deal
be
with
willing
it.
to release.
But
Okay.
if you go with, it's well worth the money. That's what I'm going to say. Like, how much do we spend on prescription drugs each year?
Oh,
How much do we
I'm
spend
sure
on
it's plenty.
antidepressants and nerve pills?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
if you can get the same or better results because you're invested in it,
Yeah.
you know, there's some nights I still have anxiety that it's not as easy for me to go to sleep. But once I do my tapping and affirmations, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Excellent.
But I mean, I'm not going to do a session and then in a couple of days you say, well, I'm feeling this, and this, and okay, well, I need another $45. Like, I'm obviously going to help you. It's not about the money.
No.
you know,
It's about a person's health and about them feeling good.
right. So I mean, I would obviously work with them to help them, because it's something. Sometimes it's not like, I know a girl, she had pain from, it was a skiing accident. She had really bad pain in her shoulder, and someone introduced the tapping. So she tried the first day, it was nothing was doing. The second day, nothing. But she felt a little bit relief. So she said, okay, I'll keep going. And I think it was after the third day, she said, like, pain was gone. And I think it was when she did the interview, it was like a couple years later, she had the pain back. So it's not, sometimes it's not like that day. I mean, it can happen, but not necessarily. But I'm not going to say, okay, we're done. Your time's up. I mean, there's no set time. But I mean, if they call me like in a couple of days and say, well, listen, this is going on, I'm always going to help them to get back to where they need to be.
But by the sounds of it too, Sue, it's like it's a long-lasting effect.
Right.
Like, you know, it helps you and helps you long-term.
Mm-hmm. Ashley can coach for
that. For sure.
But
it
is $45 a session, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you get out of it what you bring to it.
Right.
Yeah.
As with everything.
Yeah. No.
But great questions, guys.
You got another question? James Edward asked, does this help with the elation before, let's say a job interview or an exam?
Mm-hmm. Like anxiety about an exam or an interview? Or confidence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, tapping can do all of that and so much more. Everybody knows what?
One-stop shop.
Yeah. Everybody knows how much I believe and support in it because I've been promoting it nonstop, and now everybody's found out my little dirty secret that I keep the sheet on my bedside table.
Okay. What about medical issues?
Such as?
I don't know, like anybody that is going through, I'm going to say, like something really hard, like chemotherapy, radiation, stuff like that. Will that help them, I guess, with, it's not, naturally they're going to need chemotherapy,
right.
You know, for, you know.
But if you release the
would,
anxiety about it, like if you know what I mean, if you take the pressure off of worrying.
Off of the mind or something, I guess.
About it, then maybe it would help with it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, and that stands to reason. That stands to reason because, like,
I mean, it's not like you're going to come in and, oh, I have this type of cancer, I'm going to tap it out and you're going to be completely cancer-free. But if you change your mindset and stop worrying about the cancer and worrying it's going to come back, worry if this radiation is going to work, then it can have a better effect on your outcome.
Yeah. And too, like not, maybe not things like that. What about if somebody is going in for, you know, a triple bypass or whatever, and they're feeling very anxious or stressed about it? Oh, I would think that this would help.
Help with better results for sure.
Yeah.
The doctors know that if your mind is a good place, then the outcome is going to be better.
Yeah.
Doctors know the power of the mind.
Yeah.
That's why they know about placebos and how that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know if your mind is in a good place, your outcome is going to be so much better.
Yeah.
Like, I know I was diagnosed with a brain tumor 14 years ago now, and the whole time I went in, like, there was one day obviously I was upset because I didn't know what was going on, but I went through the whole thing like, this is nothing, like, I'll be fine. And I had the surgery one day, and then I've been like a couple of days later, I was walking down the hall past the nurse's station, and she was like, so when's your surgery? I was like, well, I had it the other day. She's like, you couldn't have. I'm like, yeah, I did. And she didn't believe me for like the longest time. And I was like, yeah. And I showed her my scar. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're up and walking right now. And even the night I had the surgery, they put me in the immediate intensive care unit where there's like no buttons on the bed to ring for nurses or nothing. I woke up, no one's around. So I'm like, what's going on? So I took the monitor off my fingers. So all the alarms went off and everybody came running. I remember hearing the nurse call the doctor. She's like, she's awake. And the doctor's like, she can't be awake already. And she's like, but she's awake. Like, she took the monitor off her finger. And they couldn't get over it. But the whole time I was in there, I just kept thinking, this is walk in a park type thing. I mean, I was nervous, obviously, because it's a brain tumor. But he said, like, your mindset, and he goes, was a big contributing factor to you going through so well.
Wow.
So
Oh, that's great.
Power of your mind is an amazing
Yep.
thing. So rewiring or retraining your brain
Mhm.
to allow this in,
Yeah,
gonna change your whole life.
for sure. For sure.
So have you got, we kind of not at all like the community night, is it?
No.
Have you got some information that you brought in to
I
share
know
with us? 'Cause
somebody, I forget who it was, asked about the different tapping points, what they were associated with. So your collarbone is associated with your kidney meridian. Releases psychological like reversal, wanting to move forward but you feel stuck.
Oh,
The beginning of the eyebrow right here is your bladder meridian, so it releases trauma, hurt, and sadness.
Okay.
The outside of the eyes is so you can tap on one side or you can tap both sides as you're going through. It's whatever's more comfortable for
I'm
you.
actually curious to know about the eye. 'Cause remember when you did my session, when we started tapping here, all of a sudden my headache went away?
Mhm.
So I'm curious to know.
So this outside of the eye is your gallbladder meridian, is resentment and anger. Under the eyes is your stomach meridian, fear and anxiety. Under the nose is the governor meridian, shame and powerlessness. And under your chin is the central meridian, is confusion and uncertainty. Under the arms is the spleen meridian, it's guilt, worry, and obsessing. And the cardi top point with the side of your hand.
Oh, we did that one too.
Yes.
Okay, what is that one on the side of the hand?
Is a small intestine meridian, so it's
Oh.
psychological reversal, like feeling stuck, just like the collarbone.
Okay.
I know I started tapping when you said feeling stuck.
Yeah.
I'm just so anxious for the new store. I am feeling stuck.
Yeah.
I just want the new store.
It's coming. It's coming.
So I'm just going to tap on that
Yeah.
so I can stop being so impatient.
So, and then there's your thumb meridian, your thumb is the lung meridian, is negative thinking. Index finger is the large intestine meridian, difficulty forgiving yourself or letting go of the past hurts. Your pinky finger is your heart meridian, it's for anger.
What about your ring finger? Is that lungs or?
I'm not sure. I think I have one. So the top of your head is your open to your crown chakra.
Nice.
I don't have the pinky.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Yeah.
that, though.
Yeah.
I just got the basic ones, like I said,
Yeah.
the ones
Oh,
that I
yeah.
use. I
Yeah.
didn't. But yeah.
No, I think it's amazing.
Oh, it was wonderful. And you know what else? I think in the tapping too, this is just my thoughts from my own experience with it. When you're touching yourself and you're saying the nice things, we're always so ready to beat ourselves up. We look at everything and expect the worst. You know what I mean? We don't let, you said it tonight about big wins. It never happens here. That's limiting ourselves.
Exactly. We're
right?
our own worst
So
critics.
when you're touching yourself and you're being nice about it and you're saying nice words, I think that just helps you connect to your own energy.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? Because you don't touch yourself hard.
No.
It's just gentle and you're
Yeah.
being nice and kind and you're connecting
Exactly.
with your own energy. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I've thought about this a lot because I just couldn't believe the results.
I think it's amazing. Can you tap? I don't know why. It's just coming to me. What about your animals, your pets?
I've
Can
never
you
done
kinda,
it personally,
you
but
know?
you can tap on your animals. I mean, you'd have to know what was wrong because
Well,
I can't talk to you,
yeah.
obviously. But
No.
if you have an idea, yeah.
I've
I've heard of people
they're
doing
stressed or whatever for whatever reason. Yeah.
That's cool.
it. Mm-hmm.
Maybe figure out some separation anxiety for Thena.
Mm. Yeah. So you were saying too, you can tap, I guess, for goals or whatever, if you want to achieve something, whether it be, good marks in a test, job interview, weight management.
Yep. There's one for weight loss.
Okay.
Addiction?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Addictions, shopping, smoking, drinking, gambling.
Wow.
But I think with addictions, you have to be ready to accept
That you want to.
that you want to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we hear Ashley snoring.
Sure, Jacqueline.
Have we got any more? Oh my gosh, they're both asleep.
Yeah.
Look at how soothing you are on the sleeplessness.
Yeah.
You read just a little bit and put
Yeah.
them both to sleep.
That's it.
There's effects for you, everybody.
Yeah.
Sue read on the sleeplessness for me, and Jacqueline and Ashley both fell asleep during the podcast.
Too
Have we
funny.
got any more questions, Kyle?
No.
Okay, well, we're
Yeah.
getting close to wrap-up time to do the reading.
Oh, well,
Still goes by
Yeah.
so fast, doesn't it?
it does. It does. It does.
So if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask Sue, now's the time to put that out there. And you have Wednesdays completely dedicated to tapping or EFT right now.
Right. Except between 11:45 and 1:45.
That's when you volunteer at the school.
Right.
And is there any other days of the week that you do it?
I can do any day. It just depends on my work schedule. But like last week, I did Monday and Thursday afternoon. So it just depends on what I work.
On your,
Like,
yeah, on
on
your
schedule.
schedule.
But I have, like I said, Wednesdays are off. So anytime after 1:45, I'm good.
Okay. And do you have cards or anything that you can take to the store?
Not yet.
Okay. But you can always get a hold of Sue at EFTwithSue@gmail.com.
Yes.
And of course, Sue the Store's page, you can always, I will always get the message to Sue. I'm such, I don't want to say convert, but I'm just so enthusiastic of my experience with the EFT. Same as with the therapeutic touch.
Mhm.
I'm very enthusiastic about that, and, you know, constantly letting people know about that. Just all the, when we get involved in our own healing,
Right.
right? We're taking control of ourselves back. We're
For sure.
investing in ourselves. And we're our own best advocates. We can tell the doctor in our terms what we're going through,
Mhm.
but we're our own best advocates. So when you're taking control, you know, it just helps the outcome.
Right. And that's the thing, I find a lot of people don't take time for themselves. Like the one that we did for the pain, she felt better when she was there with me, but then so I gave her some stuff to do while she was like, if it came up again or whatever. And I said to her when she had the second session, I'm like, well, she's like, well, no, I didn't because this or this and this. I'm like, you have to make the time for yourself. Like it takes like 5 minutes to go through. Like, you gotta make the time for yourself because if not, then
Excuse me.
I just like saying that to myself so much. It makes me feel good saying it to myself. The
Yeah.
affirmations.
Oh, yeah.
It really does.
Mm.
So, unless there's any more questions, or any more questions?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well,
Anybody have their numbers ready?
yeah, I guess we'll get ready. Unless, Sue, do you have anything you want to say in closing? We told people how to get a hold of you. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And remember, you can book with Sue at EFTwithSue@gmail.com. And, of course, Sue the Store. The sessions are $45, and there's a little questionnaire, so she knows best how to help the issue that you want to address. And it is
So
just
it is one
fantastic.
thing. The forms are a little bit, like there's a lot to them. So I'm going to work on condensing because some of that stuff I don't feel. I don't know. I'm going to come up, like those are the ones I use that for my course. But once I have time to sit down, I'll figure out like what's the
Do you
best.
know, I think your forms are good because, like that person with the pain, and it turned out that the anger was the issue.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they couldn't let go of the anger. They kept feeling the pain. But I think the detailed forms lets you get to the root of the
True.
problem.
Mhm.
So if you were asking my advice, I wouldn't advise changing them because, you know, that's what they want to work on, but that's not the root, the core.
Right.
It's your call,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
But I just think that detail is a good thing. So, has everybody guessed their numbers? We have to use Jacqueline's cards tonight because in my infinite wisdom, I left my cards at home. So the number we have chosen is number 7. So whoever's the closest without going over wins themselves a reading tonight.
Kathy Frazier with 11.
Oh, without going
Oh.
over.
That's the closest one.
Oh,
Everyone else is 18 and above.
Oh,
oh.
well, they're
Guess
still the
that'd be 11,
closest.
Yeah, but I just wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah.
So, Kathy Frazier. What an interesting day today has been. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. I'm happy you won, though. I just wasn't expecting to be too low.
Yeah.
So we have the death card. Never fear. It is not somebody dying. We have the King of Swords. This card is cropping up everywhere.
Seems like you've had him a few times.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have the Four of Swords. And we have Justice. So, Kathy, I'm going to go on a limb right now and say that there's something going on in your life. The Death card is the end of something, the start of something new. We have the King of Swords right on top of that. So the King of Swords is a man who has trouble looking at the positive side of things. He's the man who's always waiting for the other shoe to fall. He just cannot let go of holding himself back to allow himself to have more. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I really think there's been some sort of a disconnect with a male figure in your life. Where the end of something, start of something new. Maybe it's your brother or your father. Maybe it's your partner. I don't know, but I'm thinking there's some sort of a disconnect there. This is a really personal reading, and this usually doesn't happen online to be so personal. And I don't know what else to say. We're going to go back to that in a minute. So the Four of Swords is not my picture, but this card also indicates moving.
Oh, okay.
It could be change of address.
Yeah.
It can be vacation, holiday. I'm pretty sure it's the right one. I'm so used to my cards that it's really hard. But the Four of Swords, sorry, the Four of Swords. I was thinking wands.
Oh,
okay. The Four of Swords is rest and recovery.
Oh, okay.
I am so sorry. So it indicates there that you need a little bit of time for yourself. My cards, the writing's bigger. I suck. It indicates a little bit of time for yourself is needed. You need to kind of regroup, mentally prepare yourself, and just take a little bit of downtime, slow things down, and don't react quickly. And I'm just trying to think how I want to say this. Are you looking at yourself and your situation fairly? You know what I mean? Sometimes we look at things in a way that we're not being very kind to ourselves. We're taking too much on ourselves. And maybe it's a situation where you're putting too much on yourself that you don't deserve right now. So I don't know if that helps, but I just am getting the feeling that there's some sort of a disconnect from a male figure in your life, and it's changing your situation, and it's shuffling where you are and where you want to be. It's the end of something, start of something new. The Four indicates rest and recovery. Like, just show a little bit of kindness to yourself, show a little bit of cherishing yourself, and don't be so harsh on yourself. I feel like there's some sort of blame going on. So it's a very personal reading what I'm picking up from this, and I'm sorry to make it so public. But if you want to come see me at the store, we can talk more about it later. It won't be a charge. Just remember your cards are the Death, King of Swords, Four of Swords, and Justice. And I hope that it helped you, and I'm sorry to make everything so public.
Anyhow, so is that pretty much wraps up things for this evening?
Yeah, and the last few we're going over.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah. And again, they know that Friday night is canceled.
Yes, and I'm going to put a post.
Yes, okay.
Rescheduled.
Yeah, rescheduled.
Yeah, your family stuff, and I will put a post tomorrow on the Facebook page.
Okay.
But of course, I want to thank Sue for joining us.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful.
Oh, it's been great. Very informative. I did not know so much of this stuff. I mean, I've heard tell of it, but that was it. Basically, not known too awful much about it or what all it was used for. But like to know that you have to prepare for it and have the different affirmations and the different pressure points or whatever. I think it's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Absolutely great.
It really is. And I hope everybody watching enjoyed Sue's and learned a lot about it. So I guess if there's any other comments or anything.
Nope.
then we're just going to talk about an act of kindness and simple pleasures.
Yeah.
There was one today, actually. I was at the grocery store, and, you know, the 1 to 12 checkout. So if somebody had 6 or 7 items, and if somebody came behind them had only had 2 items.
Yeah.
So that person let that person go ahead of them, had the 2
Aw.
items, just because. they
Isn't
had
that
a few-
nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it would only took a couple more seconds, but anyways,
Yeah.
the point was they let the person go first, so
Yeah.
it was nice.
There's
And it is
spreading
nice.
out positivity.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. So people, be aware of your simple pleasures. You know, take that time. We all need to do it. We all need to be kinder to ourselves. We all need to love ourselves a little bit and allow ourselves joy and happiness, relaxation,
Yeah.
faith and hope.
Yeah.
And I just hope everybody continues with my challenge
With that act of kindness. Exactly.
and with counting your blessings.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope people continues with that.
I actually let my friend borrow my sweater today because she was cold.
See, there's an act of kindness.
Yeah.
There's so many small acts of kindness that we can just put out in the world.
Yeah.
So with that, I guess I'm just going to say love and light. Oh, Ashley's got something to say.
No, this is actually a shout out to one of my managers today. He usually ends up watching the podcast at some point. To Brendan Lank today. He knows about it. Sometimes it's hard for me to get a ride to and from work, and I walk most places anyway. But today it was cold, it was rainy, I had a headache, and my mom was like, I need you to leave like right at 3, like as soon as you clock off, I need you outside. And Brendan was like, well, if you want, I can let you go a few minutes early, just so you can make it on time.
Awesome. Shout out to
Nice.
Brendan Lank.
Yeah.
That was an act of kindness.
That was.
That's my act of kindness.
So we will see everybody hopefully in the store tomorrow. And next week, 7 p.m., we'll be here with Michelle.
Yeah.
And just love and light to everybody. I hope you have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
Yeah.
Take care.
Good evening, guys.
Night.